So I want to talk about two things in today's video. First up, basal dosing, and secondly, the timing of Afrezza doses. I spent quite a while trying to work out why I seem to be needing so much more Afrezza than anyone else online that I could find. It seemed like no matter what I ate, I always needed a green cartridge or the larger dose, and that could be even to cover a relatively low carb meal. On one day, I think I had 56 units of Afrezza, and that was to cover only one meal, and I still spent most of the day high, which made no sense to me and wasn't what I was expecting, especially when you consider that if I had 56 units of Apidra, my previous insulin, and only had one meal in the day, I would have been dead for sure. My first thought was it must be my basal insulin. I mustn't be having enough. So over the course of a week, I raised it gradually day after day and noticed that I started trending down noticeably overnight. Eventually, I've ended up having several units less a day than I was on before. And while I'm not 100% sure I'm there yet, it's a lot closer. I'm now really confident that the main problem I was encountering is something called the Somogyi effect, which I'll go into in another video. But I think one of the most important things for anyone starting out on Afrezza to do is to ensure that their basal dose is correct. And once you're sure that's right, then you're pretty much halfway there. For me, I ended up needing a reasonable amount less basal than I was on before, which I think is a similar thing that a lot of other users online have been reporting. The next thing I wanted to talk about is the timing of Afrezza doses. I think that the dose itself doesn't really matter anywhere near as much as the timing of the dose. I generally take my Afrezza around 5 to 10 minutes after I first start eating. That is, unless my blood sugar levels are a little higher. If they're around 7 or 126 in the other units, I will take my Afrezza straight away. I won't wait 5 or 10 minutes. Another really important thing to do is to keep an eye on your blood sugar levels at around 60 to 90 minutes after you eat. If you notice that your levels are starting to rise, it'll mean that the first dose of Afrezza you've had has started to run out. It's also worth noting, in my experience, that it takes a lot more Afrezza to lower a high blood sugar level than it does preventing blood sugar levels from going up in the first place. And that's it for this video, but I'm really excited about some of the stuff I'm going to be sharing with you over the next couple of weeks. I think I've got some cool stuff that you'll all really love, so keep watching.